All right, this 13n, so get you guys back into your math terms. This 13 is a coefficient, right? Because it is attached to this variable n, right? So you're not going to add and subtract it, right? You're going to inverse operate it. So you're going to divide it. You always want to know where your equal sign is. So this is where my equal sign is, right? So if I inverse, right, so some of you were reciprocal, right? Because 13 over 1, what's the reciprocal? 1 over 13, right? So what's 13 divided by 13? It's 1, right? That's the identity property, right? Division. Okay, so most of you know to just take that and divide by the 13, the coefficient. And so 13 divided by 13 is 1. And so 78 divided by 13 is 6. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Is 6. And so there you are. A few students will take the 78 over, and that's why you just review a little. Right. So for number 2, you don't change the sign when you're inverse operating in regards to division and multiplication. So you wouldn't make that 8 a positive. It would stay that negative, correct? So you always want to know where your equal sign is. You want to make sure you understand inverse operation versus combining like terms. Okay, so if I kind of... All right, number 3, this would be... You guys were taught... I mean, honestly, I want to say you first learned this in 4th grade. And then you saw it a few more times. Okay, cross product property, really long, so CPP works as well. Okay, cross product property means that if you have 2 ratios set equal to each other, right? So this is a fraction, that's a fraction, or ratio, right? When you have 2 ratios set equal to each other, you can multiply diagonally. Remember that? So I can multiply. So V is equal to 20, right? I'm going to bring the denominator 20 up with the negative 19 numerator. And so what you get is 20 over 20, right, which you can divide. I'm kind of doing a little shortcut here. I'll redo it again if say you wanted to multiply. And so you get negative 19. Okay, so this would be you using the cross product property. But if you wanted, right, so now an or, you can always do more work. So if you understand, right, 20, well, what's the reciprocal of 1 over 20? 20 over 1. So you can multiply both sides by 20. V is equal to 19 divided by 20 is negative 380 divided by 20. Negative 380 divided by 20 is negative 19. So you obviously know that in mathematics you can come up with different ways of solving the equation. I will show you multiple ways. You can kind of lean whichever way you want. And so that's obviously when you and your partner are taking a quiz. If you happen to do it the first way here with the cross product property, but then here they did more reciprocal and then multiplied, right, that reciprocal to both sides, and then they multiplied. It's just as accurate. It's just as perfect. This is just more algebraic of solving skills. This is just straight cross product property. And that's kind of like what you did last year with all your trig and dilations and similarity. This is what you worked with. Okay, I'll do 4 and 7, and then I'll kind of be quiet, and I'll give you guys time, and then I'll eventually do 13 and 14 at the bottom, okay? All right, so for 14, you always want to know where your equal sign is, because that's going to tell you whether to inverse operate or combine like terms. So since I have negative 20 and that's a constant, and I have negative 14 and that's a constant, I want to take this negative 20 and I want to combine it with the negative 14 constant. But because I have to jump the equal sign, go from the right to the left, that means you're going to inverse operate. Which means instead of negative 20, it's positive 20. That's when you switch the signs, right? So if you jump the equal sign, it goes negative to positive. And so 6 is equal to n. Jump to 7? Yeah? Are you guys okay? Okay, and then I'll stop the video after this. Okay, so 7, this is your distributive property. You're all really, really good at this. You just take whatever front number, right? You multiply it to every term inside the parentheses, the grouping symbol. So all of you would know to take that 7 and multiply it to the 3 and the x. So I would get negative 56 is equal to 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times x is 7x. Keep going. Okay, so then you have your equal sign. And again, 21 is a constant, negative 56 is a constant. If I want the 21 to combine with the negative 56, I need to jump that equal sign. So if 21 is positive, it's now going to be negative. 77, negative 77, 7x. And I know I ran out of space, but you're all really good at dividing at this point. So 7. So negative 11. Okay, so I'll stop here. I'll give you guys like, yeah, I'll give you guys like 10, 15 minutes, and then I'll do 13 and 14. All right, if I stop, so here's the other thing. When I stop the video and I stop recording, it takes it back to the beginning just so that I can, well, you guys will see. But then eventually it comes back. Okay, so here, let me show you. Oh, wait, I forgot you guys. Stop, okay. I don't know.